Okay, so let me just, whoopsies. Okay, whatever. Week ahead. It's going to be quite a week. We've got a lot of stuff happening really early on in the week. On Monday, May 18th, we have Mars entering into Taurus. Mars is in its opposite, the opposite sign it rules over, right? Naturally, Mars is the traditional ruler of Scorpio. So when Mars is in Taurus, it is considered to be debilitated, right? I mean, I think that there are certainly benefits to this, however, especially now, because we do have just so much energy. Like, I feel like there's just, there's been like surges of energy. It's been like a surge and then it's like decreased, and then there's been another surge and it's kind of decreased. And I mean, it's usually like that, but I feel like for some reason lately it's been even worse. And that's probably because we've got Neptune in Aries, we've got Pluto in Aquarius, and now we also have Uranus in Gemini. So those outer planets are all in those more outward oriented signs, those so-called masculine signs. And so that's causing like a lot of activation and aggravation for people. So I do think that there is something nice about this Mars in Taurus, because it's asking us to slow down. It's asking us to be steady and to maintain a stable routine, right? Fixed signs are all about steadiness and stability. So we're going to be called to cultivate that. It still is going to be challenging in the sense that if you have projects that you've been working on and you've been really throwing yourself into them, don't be surprised if they come to like a screeching halt all of a sudden, right? Or that things aren't moving as quickly as you want them to move. That's going to be a huge thing to be mindful of with this energy. In addition to that, we have Venus entering Cancer as well on Monday. I think that Venus in Cancer is, I personally like it. I mean, I mostly like it. I think that Cancer is a very inward-oriented maternal sign. There's going to be a lot of care and compassion, right, directed towards people with Venus entering into Cancer. There's also going to be a lot more emphasis placed on like the home, placed on our family members, our immediate family members, our kids, our parents, our siblings, with this sort of energy. I think though too, with Venus in Cancer, there is a lot of vulnerability that people are going to be hiding, right? They're going to try to make it so that people can't see their, the things that upset them or the things that they have a sensitivity around. They're going to try and like hide that and obscure that and prevent people from seeing that, right? Cancer is all about self-protection. It's all self-protection and protection of immediate family members and people that are really close to you, right? It's also this sort of, I do wonder if like we'll be seeing more of this archetype of the girlfriend that takes on the role of mother. And maybe we'll see more criticism of that sort of behavior online, right? I think that, there's like Venus in Cancer, it's one of those, the archetype of one of those women who is always trying to play the role of mother for other people. I'm thinking like Katara, for example, in like Avatar: The Last Airbender. That's like a good archetype of what this Venus in Cancer energy kind of represents. That same day, we've got the moon going into Cancer, so that's going to be quite lovely, and we'll have a moon-Venus conjunction, so that's going to be really nice, really harmonious for people, really beneficial, soothing, like this sort of emotional soothing that's going on, right? Also on Monday, we have Mercury forming a sextile to Neptune. So that'll be interesting. It'll be potentially very creative for people, very intellectually stimulating, right? And using the mind sort of as a vehicle for connection to a higher power or to expanded states of consciousness, depending on, you know, what you believe. Yeah. And there's always the potential, of course, with Mercury and with Neptune for people to be more easily deceived by things. But with the sextile, it'll probably be more, you'll probably see more benefits with that energy. Like you'll see more of the creative side of it. You'll see the more intuitive, tapped inside of it, as opposed to like the deceptive, delusional side. Yeah, we also have Venus forming a sextile to Mars. I mean, I think that that's quite a nice energy. I'm wondering what sign, what is Venus, where is Venus in, what sign is Venus in? I don't think they're forming mutual reception, but it's interesting that Venus will be, or Mars will be in the sign ruled by Venus. Yeah, I can't remember. I'm trying to look back and see. Oh my God. Is there an ephemeris in the back of this that I can just, oh, there is. Great. What day am I looking at? Whatever, like around the 18th of May. Venus is in Gemini, yeah. So it's not mutual reception. It's not mutual reception, unfortunately. Because I love a mutual reception. Okay, but we've got Venus forming a sextile to Mars, and Mars will be in Taurus at the time, and Taurus is ruled over by Venus. That's a really good day. Monday is such a day for like creativity, like do something artistic, do something creative, like get your paints out, write a poem, like anything, something small. Like it doesn't have to be something big, but something small, right? Because Venus has to do with beauty, art, sensuality, taste, refinement, like these sorts of qualities. And Mars has to do with our action, our impulses, our will to get things done, our aggression and our assertion, right? So those two things together can create a lot of motivation to produce something of value, something artistic. Yeah, and that's Monday. So Monday is definitely the most packed day this week. So pay attention at the start of the week. We're getting like an influx of energy. Tuesday, we have a Mercury forming a trine to Pluto. This is a really nice energy. Well, I wouldn't say nice necessarily. It's going to be potentially powerful energy to work with. We're going to see people really attuned to the collective and attuned to radicalism and holding these more sorts of fringe beliefs about things, right? It'll be interesting to see, just always with Pluto and Aquarius, I'm always interested to see like what sorts of activism people are going to be doing, what sorts of unrest Political unrest might arise anytime this Pluto in Aquarius is involved with anything.